apparently the next gen Xbox is set to release in 2027, not next year. So some potential changes there based on the previous leaks that we said. And then involving the next Xbox, I think it was Jez Corden, I believe is who said this one. There's apparently not a dev kit for the next gen Xbox because the idea and concept behind the console is that it's going to be a PC in a TV friendly shell. So it's literally that's their goal. Their goal is no longer to just have a game console, it's to have essentially a PC that they will sell to you at a game console price.
That doesn't answer any questions.
I know. I agree.
Because if you say you have a PC, that can mean anything.
Exactly.
Just because you have a PC doesn't mean you can run anything.
Yeah, exactly. So there is still a lot of questions.
There's a reason why you make your own game console. It's because you have a standard thing.
Yes.
For everyone to do it around. You're making a standard thing and just saying it's gonna be a PC. That's what a fucking console is.
Yeah.
It's a collection of essentially PC parts that are run by your own native system.
Yep.
That's all it is.
So now instead of handing out dev kits, they're just basically, in my understanding, it's like, yeah, just make whatever you're doing on a PC, make it work for a PC. It's gonna work for us. So it's like, okay. That's vague.
Not only is that vague, it doesn't help anything because PC ports being crap has been the worst thing in the last couple years.
True.
Nobody makes a good PC port.
True.
Well, I won't say nobody, but it's like we hear because it is one of those
there's
things.
A lot of bad ones.
You hear more about the bad ones. It's one of my complaints about like the gaming news is you always hear about the worst stuff.
Yeah.
But it is one of those where PC ports need to be higher quality.
Yeah, I agree. So the whole
very rarely do you get success with a poor PC port, and one of the best examples is Monster Hunter Wilds currently.
Yeah.
The PC port has had nothing but criticism for its performance. Nobody cares because it's selling like crazy and everybody's playing it anyway.
Right. So yeah, I mean the whole idea of the next Xbox console being a PC and a TV friendly shell, it is that's a way to describe it. That is very vague. But the other little piece of news that came out from Windows Central is that apparently this year, the long fabled Xbox Handheld will be releasing later this year, and it will be an Asus-based handheld. Asus and Xbox teaming up to make this. If I had to guess, probably revealed at the summer showcase, whatever it's going to be. You know, it's been so teased and talked about for so long that we're getting an Xbox handheld. Now, the big question is, if this is real, are you going to actually make it native, or is this going to be a Game Pass device? If it's going to be a Game Pass device, we already technically have those. We don't need another one.
It's going to be a Game Pass device.
I have a feeling they may even go a route similar to like what the Portal is, and I just hope not.
I don't think they'll do what the Portal is. I think I think this is going to be it's going to be the Xbox Steam Deck. Is all it is. Instead of having access to your Steam library, you're going to have access to Game Pass and your game library.
Well, if you have access to your game library, that's great. That's what we need.
Yeah, I assume it's going to be for Game Pass and your game library, but it'll probably be a limited library that can run on the system.
Right. Which, you know, as long as it's not just a Game Pass device and we can have access to our library, then I think it's AW. You know what I mean? But if it's just a Game Pass device with an official Xbox logo slapped on it, I mean, cool, I guess, but we could just we could just get the Asus ROG.
I don't think anybody's gonna care about this thing.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we could just uninstall the Steam OS, install Windows on the Steam Deck, and you can get Game Pass there. Like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's like I already have a bunch of handhelds at my house now. Like, I've got my Switch, I've got my Steam Deck, I've got like my tablet that I like play mobile stuff on. I don't. If you're just giving me another Game Pass device, I don't need that. I have my PC and I have my Xbox.
Yeah. But now if you're giving me the ability to not only play Game Pass on the go, but play like Xbox games that I've purchased on the go, now we're talking. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, that's cool. Not gonna do something with that. But or even just the ability to, you know, do what the Portal does. If it can do what the Portal does, plus let me play games from the library, plus play Game Pass, that's a massive W. Because, you know, most of my games are physical. So it's like if I can do what the Portal does with it, walk around the house and play it, that's a W to me. I wonder how that would work if it was with a physical game. I feel like it could work somehow. You'd have to probably be game to game. Like a game would have to be like updated for it, right? That'd be my guess to allow you to do that. I don't know.
I don't know.
Some sort of software update.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how that would work.
But anyway, do you buy that there's going to be a handheld this year from Xbox? Do you think it's time that the long fabled handheld's going to come out?
I mean, sure. The problem is, I don't care about a handheld anymore. It's one of those where it's like I don't need an Xbox handheld anymore. Like these days, like yeah, if you were in the market for it 5 years ago, yeah, people would love it. And it's like you're gonna sell some because I mean, hell, people bought the Portal. It's like they'll buy any handheld they can get like their hands on for it. I don't, especially because I don't think it's going to be really anything more than a Game Pass machine because that's all Xbox is becoming is a Game Pass machine.
Yeah.
So it's like it's one where I mean, yeah, you're gonna make a handheld cool. I'm like the problem is we're talking handheld. Handhelds we're talking about these days. It's a Steam Deck. It's a Switch. They're fucking massive.
Right.
It's like if I'm like honestly, if I'm gonna get excited about a handheld, I'd want something like PSP, a Vita, something like that. It's like I would want something like that. I don't need. I'm less excited about these massive things, like massive like handheld, like hybrid type consoles. Because everybody's making them the size of the Switch, but the Switch is a hybrid console.
Right.
It's like I don't know. I'm getting. I like the idea of handhelds. I'm I've not been excited about the way handhelds are looking.
Right. You haven't been excited about the direction for it currently.
Yeah, it's like I'm
Longing for the PSP again.
something that size is great. It's just you have to. In that sense, it has to be native and it has to have games specifically made for it.
It would, yeah, because like most
Which-
games wouldn't play
But
on
the
it.
problem is that's counterproductive to Microsoft's whole strategy.
Yeah, exactly.
So they'll never do something like that.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, Xbox doing some sort of handheld. I mean, it's gonna obviously be like it's gonna be like what the Switch is. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be.
It's gonna be this. It's gonna be like a Switch, Steam Deck, whatever. I mean, cool. I mean, yeah, it's one of those. People will love it if it works well, but I'm less excited about it than I would have been a few years back.
Right. True. Sure. Especially with just how like oversaturated that market's become.
Yeah,
It's like I feel like every month we hear about a new handheld coming out.
yeah. It's one of those where it's like I'm less interested in everybody coming out with a different thing for me to buy to play their games on, and I'm more interested in just playing games that I have or excited about some of the games coming out.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. And like we already kind of said, if this thing ends up being revealed over the summer and it's pretty much just a Game Pass device, big L. You know, but if it can access your library and then even like maybe do what the Portal does for like if you have physical games, then I think the console's a W. But you know, obviously, if it was a physical game thing, I understand where, okay, yeah, you know, your main console needs to be nearby or needs to be at least in sleep mode. You know, the disc in the console, you know, just kind of do whatever the sharing is the Portal has, whatever. But that's just me pipe dreaming. That probably won't happen. But if at the very least, if it has your digital library and Game Pass, I think that could be a good thing. You know what I mean? I think that could be good. But price point's going to be a big thing because I know with me and you, we both agreed that, you know, depending on what that Portal came in at, that the price for that was going to be a big dictator on if the Portal was ever going to be worth it. We saw the price and we're both like, yeah, no, we're good.
I can only assume it's going to be either the same price or more expensive than the Portal.
Yeah, I'm going to say $200 to $300, and if that's going to be the price, it better be worth it. Like what all features is going to have, you know?
Yeah.
Better be worth it.
It's gonna be one where it's like it's gonna come out with a price, and I'm gonna just sigh and not care.
Yeah, exactly. And I have a feeling that's going to be a lot of people because it's also Xbox. You know what I mean? That's a little bit of the problem. It's Xbox we're talking about. So, yeah, Xbox is just kind of like the easy beating bag that you can just like the punching bag that you can just beat up on all the time. Like that's Xbox right now. So I don't know. the idea of the Xbox handheld coming out this year, it's like, it feels like you could have just waited. You know, like, yeah, you already know this console generation's a bust. I feel like you could have just waited on that, but okay, go ahead and release it now. Release it this fall, where you're gonna have to compete with the Switch 2. Godspeed on that. You know, Switch 2 is probably gonna be like the biggest console launch in history. So Godspeed on trying to compete with that in some capacity.
I mean, we've seen it for years. Xbox doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah,
They don't know when to release stuff. They don't know, they don't have the best plan for success with consoles over the past like 10 years.
True, true.